Could you guess what we're going to ask first?
Probably.
In the interest of diligence, is he around Sunday?
Yes.
How did Jimmy get through the week?
Good. 3 more days or 2 more days of practice since I last talked to you guys. So, for obvious reasons, more reps, bit by bit, it gets better and better.
Is there a chance maybe you give Jimmy a couple series in the game?
I mean, no, nothing's changed. I'm going into this game, trying our hardest to win this game, and we're going to go with what we got and see what happens.
How did Joe get through the week? It seemed like he may be a little ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it was nice to get him out there this week. I wasn't expecting him to get him back at practice. Once he got cleared to practice, it's been good. He's been limited throughout the week. It's his orbital, so it's not like I can really watch him and see how he's moving or anything. It's really up to Joe, because he knows how his eye feels, and we'll talk about that really up to game time, and hopefully it'll work out, but it's going to be up to Joe and how his eye feels.
It seemed like in the beginning of the week you guys had a big, long injury list, and a lot of those guys returned to practice. Are you optimistic about most of those guys?
Yeah, it's none of them are for sure going. Some of the guys I could rule Lynch out. He's not going to play. A few of the other guys have gotten closer, got better chances than others, but Lynch is the only guy I've ruled out so far.
So Solomon will be a game time decision?
Yeah, we'll probably decide that tomorrow.
How does Louis Murphy look just in these last few days here? Would he be a guy that would be an option maybe for Sunday?
Yeah, we're going to need him, and we're going to need him to play for us, help us out. We'll see how much he can go. For being here for a limited time, I believe he got in late Sunday night, possibly early Monday, but he's been here all week. He put in a lot of extra work Monday and Tuesday. Just having some of the new guys. I know him and Jimmy spent a lot of time together because they're both kind of in the same boat. We had Lewis a little ahead because we had him throughout training camp, or most of training camp. But he's hopped in quick, hasn't made too many mistakes throughout the week. Obviously he's not in the best football shape because it's been a while, so I think it'd be hard to ask him to play too much. But we'll see what our options are on Sunday.
Carlos said yesterday that he's not thinking about his contract status or he doesn't even want to have that discussion until you guys get a win. Is that an approach that you appreciate at this point in the season?
Yeah, definitely. That's the way I'm thinking also. I hope everyone on our team is thinking about one thing, and that's how to get a win this Sunday. And after Sunday, we got a bye week after that. You can spend a week thinking about other things, and then we'll be back and thinking about how to get a win versus Seattle. But that when I hear a player talk like that, also a guy I see by his actions, he acts like that. That's what I want on this team.
He's obviously way ahead of his career high in terms of receiving totals. Is that part of his game that you expected coming in based on what you're able to see on tape, or has he sort of done some things that you didn't necessarily know he was capable of?
No, we saw him throughout. We didn't see a ton on tape. In his limited opportunities we saw, we knew he had good hands, and just by the way he moves with the ball in his hands, you could tell he had some route running ability. But we saw it throughout OTAs and training camp, and it's not like you go into the season saying, hey, he's going to be our leading receiver or anything like that, but you go into each game and you look at what your best matchups are. Specific receivers versus corners and nickel backs, your tight ends versus safeties. Then you go to running backs versus linebackers and safeties. And Carlos has been our best matchup a number of weeks, and he's came through for us a number of times in that area.
So you want to get off to a great start in any game, but with all the injuries at key positions, does it make it even more important to not be playing catch-up from the jump?
It makes it a lot easier. And when you are down some people, and you've been in some of the situations we've been, I would love to make it easier. And getting up on a lead on somebody definitely helps. Haven't had that very much this year. If we could do that, I think it would definitely make things easier, but that doesn't guarantee you anything either. So we're going to do whatever we can to win this game, and I hope every opportunity we have, we take advantage of it.
As you guys go through this rebuild, when you look at the kicking position with Robbie, what he's done this year, is that one position you say, okay, we're good for next year? How do you evaluate it, what Robbie's done so far this year?
Yeah, I think you look at everything. as in the now and the future, and even guys who are doing awesome, you always want competition to see if people can do better. I think but I've been very happy with Robbie this year. I think he's had a very good year, have a lot of confidence in him anytime we're in field goal range. I think he's a pro, handles himself right throughout the week, but most importantly, he gets the job done on Sunday. So looking forward very much to having Robbie next year. And we'll always continue to compete and always try to upgrade, but it'd definitely be hard to upgrade with the way he's played this year.
Generally considered one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league. Maybe the average fan can't see it because the sack totals aren't there. So from your perspective, what does he do particularly well?
I think he's tough to block. He's tough to block. He's very good in the run game and the pass game. When he is blocked, and he's in front of the quarterback, I stand there a lot in the pocket behind the quarterback, and I can't see over him. So, I mean, he's definitely got the physical presence, and he's got the ability to be a very good player in this league. I know he hasn't had the sack numbers, but he gets after the quarterback a lot, and that's something, especially I think, publicity-wise around the country and everything, they're going to notice more of the numbers and everything. But from a coaching standpoint and what offensive coaches look at when they turn on the tape, he's in the backfield, he gets by the quarterback, he affects a lot of the game.
As the season goes on, just given how many snaps he's played, do you have to figure out ways to reduce wear and tear in the sense that find spots on the line where he might not get double teamed as much or things like that in the second half of the season?
That's what we're trying extremely hard to do. We've tried to do that throughout the year. That's been one hard thing with injuries. There's a trickle-down effect with injuries. And guys that are out that people might not think is as big of a deal, it is, because you're missing them, who helps, but also that makes people like Buck stay out there longer, which it becomes a chain reaction. You need him to help in the run game. Well, the more he does in that, the less he's going to be able to help on third down and rush the quarterback. The more time you give him off, the more you give other players. Now, guys are tired for special teams, and it's just a complete trickle-down effect for the whole team. So injuries affect all positions. Sometimes injuries on defense affect people on offense, because now a guy in offense has got to play more special teams, or vice versa. So it's injuries affect everything. Yeah, I'd say so. I think he's been playing very well.
But with Ruben, now maybe obviously you want to have continuity going forward, but it seemed like, whether it's his chemistry with Coyle or just being comfortable within the game, he got better as the game wore on, just maybe adjusting to what Arizona was doing. Is that something that you can learn from a player only by watching him playing games, or do you see that in practice?
You see in both. It's, Ruben, we didn't have him throughout OTAs. And then he got hurt in that first game of the year, so he hasn't been out there very much for practice. And then he started coming back, the last month or so. But he has been in and out. It's been tough with some of the injuries and the setbacks he has had. He's got 2 full weeks of practice in these last 2 weeks. I think we took a lot more off his plate, by putting more on Brock at the Mike position and allowing Rube just to stay healthy and focus on just playing fast and reacting. I think that's part of it, but I also think 6 practices in 2 weeks has a huge deal to do with it. I think last game was the first game that he was able to start and finish. He's had 1 like that this year. I promise if he gets a bunch of those, he's too talented and plays too aggressively for him not to continue to improve. It's just about how much time he gets, how many reps, and can he stay healthy out there to get that.